Here's the Grindstone 86 Best Albums of 2024. This will focus entirely on studio albums. No EPs, live albums, or compilations. I'll cover those in a separate list. As I was going through my list, I realized that putting out a list of 30 albums wasn't going to fully accomplish the goal of introducing you guys to new artists that you might not have heard already. While I will definitely have some artists in my top 30 that didn't make others, and some outside of mine that made theirs, 30 would be too top-heavy to really showcase some of the hidden gems from a great year of music. Please share this with your friends. There may not be a ton of groundbreaking finds for the hardcore indie country community, but there is a treasure trove for casual fans. Anyway, here are the first 16, albums 86 through 71. I hope you enjoy. Album number 86 is Lowdown Drifters In Time. Fort Worth-based Lowdown Drifters kick off their album In Time with the title track Turned Up to 11, a song that could have been home on Treaty Oak Revival's Have a Nice Day. Heavy guitars weave in and out of the other tracks amidst the other excellent country and Americana tunes, including Awful Truth, which features Raina Wallace. This was a late add to the list, but one that definitely needed to be included. Album number 85 is Frontier Ruckus on the North Line. There's a lot to like on this banjo-infused alternative folk album from Frontier Ruckus out of Detroit, Michigan. Everywhere But Beside You is a standout for me. You guys should give it a spin. Album number 84 is Nathaniel Rateliff's Same Here. It's difficult to overstate how hard Nathaniel and the Night Sweats came for the world when their self-titled album came out in 2025. SOB was a revelation. I had gotten a bit away from them since then, and while Same Here is very much its own album, songs like Heartless will take you back to those early days. Album 84 is Chris Jacobs' One of These Days. With such amazing players, including Billy Strings, Jerry Douglas, Sam Bush, among others on this album, it was tough to leave off this list. Heavy Water is a favorite. You guys should check it out. Album 82 is Woody Woodworth and the Pioneers, Rebels and Dreamers. This is the first of a handful of talented Virginia artists on the list. There's a lot to like here. Woody's voice has a Chris Knight feel, and Song I Wish I Wrote and Black Dress featuring Doe Eyes are a couple of standouts. Album 81 is Willie Carlisle Critterland. Willie serves up excellent folk, at times humorous, at times serious, but always entertaining. He also came out with a live album at the end of the year, but the studio one hits right for me, with songs such as Higher Lonesome and the title track is my favorites. You guys should check it out. Album 80 is Wild Ponies Dreamers. The Wild Ponies are the husband and wife team of Doug and Talisha Williams and serve up a mix of country and Americana. Elements of their sounds share some similarities with another husband and wife duo, Love Rat, whose album Howl at the Moon was a 2023 Grindstone Best Of. Give them both a spin. Album 79 is Phosphorescent Revelator. From the great opening title track, it's pretty clear it's a Phosphorescent album, feeling like a direct descendant of the 2023 album Muchacho de Lujo and its standout track, Song for Zula. It's an often low-key affair, but in the best possible way. Album 78 is Palmer Anthony, You, Me, and the Moon. Based out of Fort Worth, Palmer walks a fine balance of being radio-friendly without being pop country. He's one of a handful of artists on this list that I could see being fully embraced on the radio, just doing what he does. The album kicks off with a couple of my favorites, the title track and West Texas Cloud Appreciation Society. Make sure you give it a listen. Album 77 is Luke Callan, Also Going Nowhere. This is one you're definitely going to want to check out. I love his voice, and the album is produced by Eric Koskinen, who also plays lead guitar, and it's got a great feel. Wills of New York and Lake Street Hustle are some of my favorites among an album of great ones. Album 76 is Rich O'Toole's Ghost. Ghost is a follow-up to Rich's 2020 album, New York, a personal favorite of mine. For the early part of this album, Rich switches his romanticism from the streets of Manhattan to his home state of Texas with songs like Hill Country Sound and Texas Is My Home, two album standouts before moving on to songs about love, loss, and longing. Album 75 is Josh Ritter, Heaven or Someplace Is Nice. I've been a big fan of Josh for a long time. I got to see him around the time Hello Starling came out in a bar in Arlington, Virginia with less than 300 people. Since then, he's put out some of my favorite songs and albums. In this one, he teams with jazz guitarist Bill Frisell for an intimate collection of songs that Josh has dubbed his Cosmic Cowboy mini-album. Of note, Only a River, which appears on the album, had been covered by Bob Dylan during his 2023 tour. Check it out. Album 74 is Fantastic Cat. Now that's what I call Fantastic Cat. I think this is the only supergroup on the list. I'm a big fan of founding member Brian Dunn, whose song Optimist and overall album was a Grindstone favorite last year. There are a lot of fun tunes on this one, including So Glad You Made It, which features Counting Crows frontman Adam Duritz. I also saw that they appear on the vinyl version of Silver Patron Saints, the tribute album for Jesse Malin, playing Queen of the Underworld. Make sure you give these Fantastic Cats a listen. Album 73 is E.B Anderson's Pictou County Love Songs. This is one that was probably pretty overlooked, but one you got to check out. Named for E.B Anderson's home, Pictou County in Nova Scotia, the album features a lot of great old-time country, including the title track and the haunting 28 Ghosts. Give it a spin. Album 72 is Shane Smith and the Saints Norther. As usual, Shane Smith and the Saints serve up big red dirt country tunes on this album with powerful vocals, prominent fiddle, and ripping guitars. Such great tunes like Field of Heather cemented its place on the list. Album 71 is the Secret Sisters' Mind, Man, and Medicine. The song All the Ways feels like a time travel back to the early 2000s, the days of Norah Jones, Come Away With Me. This feeling is bolstered by the fact that it features Ray LaMontagne. Same Water is another favorite. Make sure you check it out if you haven't already done so. That's a wrap for the Grindstone Best of Albums 86 through 71. Make sure you share and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. In addition to these Best of lists, there are a ton of great concert videos including 49 Winchester, Sturgill Simpson, Pony Bradshaw, among others, as well as covers and original songs. Be on the lookout for albums 70 through 61 coming soon. Talk to you later.